Hello my bunnies, welcome back. Today we are making chocolate lollipops that look like a hunk of cheese. Like a massive, big, just like chunk of cheese, and they are filled with cheese because like we had to do that. So they are filled with a cheesecake filling that is rippled with caramel, so that when you bite into it, it is just elite. So let's get started. So first we're going to make the shell, which is where the chocolate component of the chocolate lollipops comes in. So I have melted some white chocolate and we are going to dye this yellow. So I'm getting my oil-based food coloring, shake it up, and I am going to add this to, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Okay. Oh my god, it's everywhere. Okay, I'm just gonna pour this in. I'm sorry you guys aren't getting a good angle, but like I'm covered in food coloring right now. Okay, so now we're going to get our cheese-shaped mold. Obviously, this is very necessary. And I am going to use a knife to poke little holes in the edges of the cheeses that are kind of facing outwards, because that is how we're going to make it into a lollipop shape. Now if you are a youngin, get an adult to help you because like obviously you don't want to cut yourself. And we're just gonna pour the chocolate into the mold. So these are kind of tricky because of all the little bumps that make it look like Swiss cheese. And yes, I know like Swiss cheese is not orange, but like they're also not filled with cheesecake, so it's okay. Today is a fanciful dessert. And then now we are going to get our little skewers and stick them in. And now I'm gonna pop these into the fridge for about half an hour to set while we make the cheesecake filling. Okay. And you also wanna make sure that you have some chocolate left over because we need more chocolate to seal the cheesecake in. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so now it is time to make the cheesecake filling. Oh, this is the best cheesecake filling you'll ever eat. So first things first is we are going to take our cream cheese. This is room temperature. We want it to be room temperature because it needs to be soft enough to whip. So let's just, and I'm gonna beat it with an electric mixer until it is nice and fluffy. Okay, so you can see it's just like nice, fluffy. Only takes like a couple minutes to whip up. Just put the other chunk that flew out back in the bowl. And now we are going to grab our granulated sugar and just pour that in. Okay, and then I'm gonna pour in the cream. This is 35% whipping cream. And I'm gonna add some vanilla extract. So this is actually vanilla paste. Also, like, who has actually tried tasting vanilla? Because like you think it's gonna taste really good. It doesn't, it's good. Anyway, so we're gonna mix everything together now. And yeah, let's go. Okay, so it's like very soft peaks and that's fine. I was also thinking as I was whipping this, so I go through hand mixers quite quickly and I'm like, I haven't needed to like repurchase one in a long time. So this is KitchenAid, yes it is. So I'll link this down below because I've gone through many. I think there was a Cuisinart one. And then there was like another one that I got from the grocery store, but this has held up the longest. So there you go. Also, side tip, I'm gonna try to like film it with my phone later, is if you are like making multiple recipes and like you need to clean the little whisks quickly, or if you forgot and like you have them in the sink and they're dirty and you're like, shoot, I need to use them. Pop these into a mug and submerge the dirty part in hot water, like freshly boiled water, and leave it for like 5 minutes and then you can rinse it off and like it will get off everything. It doesn't matter if like they have like dried cake batter on them, it will take it off and it's so much easier and you don't have to scrub. Oh my god. Okay, so now we're gonna add some lemon juice and this helps the cheesecake set a little bit and it's just gonna add some freshness too. And I wanna show you this tool because like, oh, it's so cool. It creates a very satisfying shape of the lemon. Look at how light and fluffy. It looks so nice. Little Mr. Doggy. Oh, looking for cheesecake? Or you know that word, cheesecake? It's not for you, Mr. Piggy. Okay, so now we're gonna get some water and we're gonna sprinkle some gelatin on top. Okay, so the gelatin has dissolved, it dissolves quite quickly, and I'm gonna pop this into the microwave for 30 seconds, probably not even 30 seconds, like 20 seconds, just for the gelatin to melt. And what this process does versus just adding the gelatin directly into the bowl, like the powdered gelatin in, is the gelatin blooms and you won't get those like really, it grosses me out so much, those like little pieces of gelatin that have like set but not fully dissolved in the finished product. So this method of like letting it sit in the water, letting it bloom, and then microwaving it so that it's fully liquid and melted, this prevents those little pieces of gelatin. So tip, full of like helpful maybe tips today. And then you just want to add the gelatin. You can see how liquid it is now. We're adding that into the cheesecake and mixing it together. Okay, so now it's time to fill our cheese. So what we're gonna do is spoon generous spoonfuls of cheesecake into our little cheeses and then add dollops throughout of caramel. And you want to make sure to get the cheesecake all the way into the corners, but leave room at the top because you have to remember that we're adding that little chocolate lid at the end. Okay, so before we put the chocolate lid on, we want to set these in the fridge for about half an hour. Okay, it's time to unmold. New day, are we ready? I'm already regretting a caramel because it is too liquid. So I'm gonna omit that in the recipe you see below. Okay, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you next Wednesday. And I'll also see you below in a caramel-free version because caramel, no, don't do it.